All right, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakodash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of GMS that rules well, that we learn from. Peace, blessing, salutation to the Akim, the few Akwaf, tuning in, and to your Israelite foreigners that are scattered across the four corners. Shukwakara from GMS, Virginia. I'm going to let this video play. It's involving on women and their multiple sex partners. It really destroys women. Again, we learning as a nation, so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, life again. You know, when once before we were Gentiles, messed up, you know, mentally destroyed, broken. You know, we was never taught, you know, anything about the scriptures, the reality of it. We pretty much guided and brought up by the ways of the so-called white man, the devil, Esau, which is our enemies. And now we're seeing, you know, repercussions of our actions and why we can't be as this world and what this world pushes us to be or want. You know, our women never being taught even how to be a woman. Word simply, woman simply means female servant. Who are you to serve? Your husband. And you know, your duty as a woman and a servant to your husband is to bring the kids. You know, we are Hebrew Israelites, and we were never taught so. And now you see our women and the defeat of our nation. And now you see the outcome. I'm going to let this video play and bring forth the scriptures. Salaki.
This is a study from the Teachman Heritage Study. All the way on the left is what happens when you marry your first...
Salaki. It's funny because I didn't even know I had this video saved, but here it is. Salaki.
Science has shown, you know, this is a study from the Teachman Heritage Study. All the way on the left is what happens when you marry your first sexual partner. The chances of staying married is 87%. As the amount of men you have sex with.
Real quick, if you want to know about sex is marriage, read the book Tobit. Because when a man layeth down with a woman, that maketh her his wife. Sex is marriage.
Before you actually get married, starts to go up, that chance of the marriage working out consistently goes down. You can see over there towards the bottom, when you start getting into like 16 plus sexual partners, the chances for marriage working out significantly drops. It goes down to 17%. So we go from 87% down to 17% by having a whole lot of sex. And it just so happens that the more men a woman has sex with, the lower her ability to pair bond, to really bond with one man.
Pay attention.
You might ask yourself, well, why isn't that not the case for men? There's a really good saying that goes around, what do you call?
Because men are allowed to have multiple women. When you look into the scriptures, it goes into that. Monogamy was a tool to break our nation down and to bring forth confusion, and Esau can play out the insecurity of our women to furthermore bring in this career path, feminism, and being greedy, woman worship, etc. So now you see before us is women that are broken and that Esau uses to manipulate and control the masses. You know, everybody tends to bend, you know, turn and lose their wits for women, you know, at their very beck and call. When was the last time you saw a woman here in America tend to men and really follow men? It's the other way around, and that was the whole purpose of ushering, you know, this women's liberation, feminism, etc. And now to the fact that these women are bringing forth children it's easy for a society to collapse and control the minds of these people. That's why you're seeing a lot of these men now getting passports and leaving and dealing with women abroad.
A key that opens many locks, a master key. What do you call a lock that's opened by many keys? A shitty lock.
For all of the women out there that tout their sexual empowerment in lieu of scientific studies that go over the consequences, and for all of the men out there that want long-term monogamous relationships, here's the data. Listen, if you run the whole facts and the title comes back dirty, then you already know what time it is. Never marry former thoughts under any circumstance. You see, feminism today has convinced modern women that the hookup culture or being sexually liberated in lieu of having a functioning nuclear family or in lieu of doing things to make them a much better option for a man is empowering. This is a fundamental lie. Why? It's because your minds nor your anatomy is made for it. My Audi is a lot different than your innie, but this false bravado through sexual liberation that feminism today has curated is one of the many reasons why modern women today are the most depressed, the most lonely, the most medicated, the most with pH levels over 9,000, and the most unhappy women in recorded history. You've been lied to.
Is that even a thought, missing or failure, before you take the shot?
1 in 7 children does not have enough food to lead a healthy and active life. But what does it take to end global hunger? It costs 80 cents to feed one hungry child.
Like the consequences.
This ad alone shows you the manipulation and mind control. Now you had a rainbow color, and this is what they do. And if I'm not mistaken, it said for women, right? Now that you see how they use these women, they manipulate these women to thinking men are just predators. They're just deadbeats. They're sexual predators. They just go out there and screw women, use women. And then that's another thing too. This society has, destroyed the image of men and destroyed the roles of what a man is supposed to do. Men don't even want to do so. That's why men wear pajamas and wear Crocs during the goddamn day and wear bonnets now. But yeah, they use these women and act like they put these women on pedestals and act like they're the matriarchal, and they are the house runners. They get into these women's heads and make them think they gotta have a career, do it all of their own, feed the children, and then and a lot of times now these women are trying to wait until in the late 30s and 40s to try to make sure they're securely good in their careers, to have children or run a household, etc., have their cars and whatever. But by that time it's too late, and they done had many sexual partners. You took the abortion pills and birth control, which blocks periods, etc. And what has happened to this time, she goes around looking for the best prospect. Basically, what's going on is they're trying to find a man that's a faggot, soft, not in his right mind or state, and a man that's going to follow her, kiss her ass, and do her bullshit. But 9 out of 10 it doesn't ever happen. And the thing about it, she keeps building up sexual partners, and to the point where she basically just, she's just sure she can't pay a bond. So what happens is, she start putting all forth effort into the careers, or a lot of them just fucking break, and they use them for a lot of different attributes to the society. If they're drinking a lot, their mental cases, or the medical, because a lot of these women end up becoming fat. They need psychiatric medicine, depression, anxiety, etc. And Lord knows if they have kids, man, it's even worse. But that's it on that part. We'll bring forth the scripture and I'm gonna close it. So just real quick, 1 Corinthians 7:39, the wife is bound by the law as her husband liveth, but if her husband be dead, she's at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. And the thing about it, I bring this out because, by the law, if a woman has one man, her first sexual partner, a woman should be a virgin. And that's another thing here in America. You don't hear anything about women even being virgins. And it's so bad now that even if she is a virgin, she'll still leave your ass. Because again, the whole concept of marriage, woman having one man or even cherishing her husband, it is not taught. And, when that first man goes into you, that makes you your husband, and you're bound by that man, by the law. And if you go do anything else outside that, that union that you and that man have, you're committing adultery. But adultery in this America is very uplifted. So it says Ephesians 5:22, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife. And you can clearly see in these days, majority of these women don't have fathers due to their mothers. And these women are not being led by righteous men or men with any type of a great mental mindset. That's why the majority, when you deal with a so-called black woman, majority know how to roll blunts and smoke weed and smoke cigarettes. One thing I can say about Northern Kingdom women, they had fathers, and they deal with they have somewhat of a culture to be married, etc. But the thing about them is they have an overly aggressive mindset of controlling men, and you pretty much just. My point is, a lot of times what they're doing now too, because this is what my perseverance for seeing watching them now, and I really see why the Lord allowed a lot of the Northern Kingdom to come here, because they got to be destroyed. And what's going on now amongst Northern Kingdom is, the women, they're finding these bitch ass dudes, weird gay dudes as well, having babies by them, and they're really just controlling them and got them taking, fucking pictures and Christian, Christmas church and not the Christmas carols and Christmas, all that bullshit. They're pretty much just making them a man that's just into this world. Got to be all. Another thing too, these women, they're all into these northern Spanish clubs and Spanish bars and lewd sluts wearing heels and just being free. And these men, again, they just bow down to them. Because you got a lot of simps that's Northern Kingdom. And a very much abundance of them. A lot of them are fucking coons and simps. They really control their men. And a lot of these so-called Latino Hispanic men that I know and I've come across, when they have wives, their wives pretty much control them. Their every move is dictated by their women. So therefore, as the church is subject to Yahushua, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. And just as and one thing I always say too, how the way us as men, we devote our lives to our first wife, which is the scriptures, the Bible, and we turn ourselves, we care, when we wake up throughout the day, before we go to sleep, etc. We are in tune with Yahweh Shem Shah. Now, if your woman isn't in tune with you as if you are with your Yahweh Shem Shah, meaning throughout the week we do these lessons, throughout the week we study. On Saturday or Friday or Sunday, whomever, when you go out, some camps go out twice. Certain bros camp twice. But we know what we have to do. Now, if your woman is not chasing or showing you by her actions that, as our actions show that we, we're waiting and wanting and hoping that the Lord saves us, that woman's not for you. So, First Peter 3:1. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. So, when women, they got this code. We watch that video by Shahrazad Ali, the black man guidance to understanding the so-called black woman. There actually is an actually woman code that these women use and go and talk to each other as groups and tell them how to control your husband and do this, do witchcraft, sorcery, etc. What they've done, the men they talk to, committed adultery with, and these little, again, bullshit. So it says, you're not supposed to have these conversations. And that's what it also says. It was funny as hell. Let me get that real quick, where I can find it. Sit not with a multitude of women. Son of a bitch. Sirach 42:12-13. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments cometh a moth, and from woman wickedness. See that? So that's what I'm saying. When these women come together, the woman's night out, hot girl summer, a lot of rash and wicked conversations with the tongue. And it also says, the scripture talks about the tongue. I believe it's in I think Wisdom of Solomon. I forgot what chapter, but it goes into that, about what, many people have pierced themselves by their tongue and what comes out and what they say. And when these women get together, they always talk about, what they have done, and it's women talk, code talk, whatever, etc. You women know what's going on out there. So while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, because see, women always, when they're amongst each other that got husbands, they're always talking shit about their husbands, his shortcomings. No man is perfect, As women, you're not perfect neither. You damn sure not perfect. This is another thing that they use, that Esau pushes. It says, who's adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or putting on apparel, but let it be hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of the meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh of great price. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh adorn themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, man. So again, man, you women are not supposed to be bragging and trying to, girl, you better take some of his money, put it to the side. You know how these niggas are. You got to do something on your own. Then you know how these niggas will leave you. Mess with these other little bitches. I'm going to go ahead and get it out your system now, girl. Won't you go ahead and mess with another man? This is woman talk, man. And, I'm pretty sure we all had sisters and had aunties and cousins and moms, grandmothers, and etc. Girls around the neighborhood, I remember it used to be chicks and this used to kind of, I didn't like the shit. Me personally, I never really understood it. It'd be a group of dudes. It'd be us out there, standing out there, just talking as, dudes amongst the way. And there'd always be just like one or two chicks there. And I'll never forget, man, I used to hear, we used to sit there and talk about, what we've done to girls, etc. And etc. And, you'll have a chick, I'll never forget this, man. You'll have chicks that get dudes and some of them that really do like them, and they'll call them amongst all of us, and he, do be pouring out his heart, and hey baby, how you doing? And then she'll just have this shit on speakerphone, and this dude sound like a straight clown, it'd be like, yo, bitch is treacherous, man. Like, why the fuck would you, everybody else be laughing, it kind of, I'm like, yo, fuck this grimy little bitch, this dude actually like you, I mean. But a lot of things you see women is growing up amongst the way what they've done and what they do to dudes, man. It makes you be like, yo, and that's why you understand certain Jakes out there, especially being brought up in single parent households, men start becoming like women predators, etc. So they do start doing dirty things to women and be fucking women up, etc. But the point of that is, these women, man, that their conversation is, oh yeah, I used to always also hear chicks used to be like, yo, I got this nigga on my dick. And he used to be like, hold on, what? He on your what? You had chicks talking about, yo, they get angry with dude, yo, suck my, you be like, what? So it's like, yo, and again, man, when women get together. And I'm talking about this was around dudes, man. Again, dudes will call them. You should have a simp dude, then have another dude trying to spit game on her. Trying to get in her drawers, and you should have her end muted. You have other dudes out there talking like, yeah, man, niggas da 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 da. And again, man, it's just these, these women, man. You when you get with a man, especially if you're a virgin, that man is your husband until he passes away. Another thing too to look at is the book of Judith. I'm not gonna keep going. That's pretty much it. But with that, yeah, I'm gonna say shalom.